Hi, folks. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultants. Man, this is my third video that I've done today, and I guess I'm just in a good video making mood. And so many thoughts are like running across the tracks of my mind that I just got to get them out and share them with you. I was thinking about a story that was told to me a couple of years ago. And in order to set this up, uh, let me just tell you one of my interests that I was involved in for several years. I am at this making 52 years old. Yeah, I realize I look great for my age. I know, but I digress. As usual, you're used to me digressing. Anyway, I'm 52 years old. And when I was 11 years old, I started taking martial arts. And I took various martial arts. Let's see. I've taken Goju Karate. I've taken uh, Hungar Kung Fu. I've taken Filipino martial arts. I've dabbled in Pencak Silat, Sivat, JKD concepts, and I've trained with Sifu's Ralph Mitchell in Brooklyn, and Sensei Leon Wallace and Sam McGee in Harlem, as well as Ralph Hamerick, who was Tom Bizio's student in Arnis, and for a brief time with Bill McGrath. Now, when you're a martial arts guy, you've got to mention where you got your knowledge from. So that's just kind of a reflex. Anyway, all of this applies. And so I was speaking to a classmate one day, and we were talking about teaching. You know, I was in my 40s at the time that I had this conversation with him, and he was calling himself a master. We were sparring partners, we were. And he said, well, hey, you're a master too. And I was like, no, 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 no. No, I'm not a master. I'm just really a student that keeps learning. And he said something to me that was groundbreaking that I want to share with you, and that applies to this whole caricature cartooning thing. And what he said was this. He said, how long have you been doing martial arts? And I said, I've been doing it since I was 11 years old. He said, so that's like, a little over 20 years, right? And I said, yeah. He said, have you been doing it consistently? And I said, pretty much so. And you've amassed a certain kind of amount of knowledge that you can apply, right? And I said, I agreed with him. And he said, listen, he said, so you should have attained mastery in some of the concepts and some of the techniques. And I kind of hesitatingly agreed. And then he kind of told me, listen, being a master doesn't mean that you can beat everybody. It doesn't mean that you can't be defeated ever. It doesn't mean that you have a bad day occasionally. He said, all it means, this is his definition, he said, all it means is that you have expertise on a subject. And if you haven't, in 20 years of consistent study, mastered something, then you must be kind of retarded. Now, I'm getting back into shape. I've let a lot of stuff go, but that conversation stayed with me. And what it taught me is that oftentimes when we're studying anything, we're always waiting for permission for somebody to tell us that we're good, that we're competent, that we have some type of expertise or some type of mastery. We're always waiting for them, whoever them or they are, to give us permission and to tell us that we are good, to validate us in some way. And in a lot of ways, there's a certain amount of humility in that, because nobody likes anybody who blows their own horn. But there's a point when that type of humility, quotation marks, that type of mindset keeps you from progressing. keeps you from owning who you really are. Now, how does this relate to caricature and art or cartooning or whatever you do? Very simply, if you have been doing anything consistently for a number of years, you too have attained a certain type of mastery or competence in it. It doesn't mean that there's not more to learn. It doesn't mean that you cannot improve your skill. It doesn't even mean that you can't have a bad day. It doesn't mean that you can outdraw everybody. But know this as an artist, and I always say this to my students, and I'm saying it again to you, on your client's best day with them trying to draw something, you draw better than them on your worst day than they do on your best day. Did I say that right? You draw better than them on your worst day than they do on their best day. Oh, that makes sense to you. So give yourself permission to say, I'm good. I'm a master at what I do. I'm competent. And when you start going out with starting with that particular mindset, your ability to do something and your attitude towards how you approach your work is going to just skyrocket and improve. Now about that martial arts thing, don't go challenging me. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant.